Here we go, back on Coco Blaylock's page called Chop It Up. Coming to y'all back from the first segment that I was talking about last. I want to continue off of what I initially started talking about. Was talking about the people that influenced me throughout my long career of football. Over 30 years of football, close to 40. So I just want to go ahead on and keep giving out those shots to the folks that inspired me from being what I was today. So first thing I want to say, I hope everybody's staying safe from the coronavirus. Hope everybody have a merry, happy Easter to you and your family and friends and your loved ones. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get right into it from where I left off from the last segment. I was talking about the people who influenced me throughout my long career. Right now, I'm on the segment of Little League football. My Little League football career was amazing. I can talk about my Little League football career for 10 years straight, man. It was the best part of me. It was what made me and molded me to what I ended up doing. Playing football, like I said, damn near 30, 40 years, man. That's a long time to do something. When I left off, I was talking about the people that influenced me, and I talked about my father, James Jr., aka Rambo. I talked about my brother, Michael Blaylock. We all knew who he was. Talked about my other brother, Patrick Blaylock. Talked about a lot of other people that I said that not just my father, my brothers, people around the way influenced me as well. My immediate family was amazing, but where I grew up throughout my life, Waukegan and the projects, Duplex. For people that know the Duplex, you know the Duplex. Zion Benton, that whole area, Zion. There were other people that just wasn't my family that influenced me. There was a lot of people in the hood that was just, I looked up to them that way. You know, not just my father, my brothers. There was a lot of people, and I'm gonna go ahead and get them shots out as I get through me talking about the Little League career. So another person that was extremely influential to me was my aunt. There are different people in my life that meant different things to me at different times of my life. So now I'm gonna talk about my aunt and why, what, when, and where. And I had a lot of them, but there was one in general that kind of pushed me, that made me want to have what she had. You know, given. I want this football career that I'm talking about to be a positive thing, man. I'm not gonna never say nothing negative about nobody. I'm happy what God gave me because it was God given. There's gonna be some things said. I'm gonna be straight up and keep it 100 with everybody. And if you understand me, you know me, you grew up with me. When I say a lot of the things I'm gonna say and a lot of things I'm gonna do, you get it. You'll get it right when I say it. You got it. And if you didn't, roll with me and you'll understand, because I'm gonna paint that picture for you. So, I want to talk about, like I said, there are a lot of people that influenced me throughout my long career, man, and it's going to be in stages. I'm going to talk about Little League football. I'm going to talk about high school football. I'm going to talk about my pro football career, all of that. And like I said, different people influenced me different ways along through my career. But right now, I'm starting from the bottom, starting with the Little League football. So the other person that influenced me growing up was my Aunt Dooley. Aunt Dooley was cool, man. She was young, vibed. She was beautiful. She was cool. She was my mom's sister. If I'm not mistaken, they were best sisters. You know what I mean? From what I understand, I can only go off of what I see and what I heard. But the reason why she was so influential to me, my Aunt Dooley, we were little, man. Like I said, we grew up poor. Everybody that grew up with me knew we didn't have it. But again, we never complained about the cards that were dealt to us. We lived life. We had, every day was great to us. Whether we had money or not, life was good to us. You know what I'm saying? We had each other. We had our friends and family, and at the end of the day, we were billionaires when it came to that. My auntie Dooley, she was one of the ones that went to college and got an education. I remember always going to Waukegan, man, and I remember her place like it was yesterday. She stayed above a doctor's office, and the way her house was, it was like a big old place you can play tag, and we loved it. We used to go visit her house. That was the auntie who I thought was rich as hell, which she did well for herself, man. She had, her daughters, my cousin Gwen, my cousin Angie, Brandy, Nene, all girls, but they was amazing. All my cousins was good with me. I don't think I ever had any problems with any of our cousins, man. We was all like brothers and sisters. But Auntie Dooley, man, I remember going to her place all the time, man, and going to her house and seeing the 4 bedrooms, the going upstairs, going in a circle like in the mansions, you know what I mean, and playing tag and hanging out. And her place was beautiful. And as a kid, when you lived where we lived, to go see that, man, that made me want that. That made me want to live that life. And I had to see, how can I get to that? You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to my auntie Dooley for holding it down the way she did, raising 4 strong, beautiful girls. Did a great job with them, and like even to this day, man, she looked like she every bit of 25 years old. So shout out to somebody who, when I was little, man, she influenced me along my little league career to make it to where I made it. My auntie Dooley. Now I had a whole bunch of aunties. Don't get me wrong. Please don't take it the wrong way. They was amazing. I can go down the line and talk about all my aunties. I had the baddest aunties ever in the world, man. I was blessed. But she stood out most when I was little because of the way I saw her living. And I wanted to live that way. I wanted the things that she had. Like I said, all my other aunties, man, they was amazing, extremely successful folks. But when I'm little, we visited there often, and that was the one aunt that just stuck out to me. That really cranked me to say, man, I want to live the way she lived her life. So talking about my little league football career, my aunt Dooley, one of my favorite cousins, my cousin Gwen. No disrespect to Angie and everybody, y'all loved y'all to death, I do. But the reason why me and Gwen had a little bit of a bond, because it dealt with football. And let me bring you back on what I'm talking about. When we were little playing at Zion Benton, we had one rival, and there was only one rival, and it was Waukegan. Waukegan Bulldogs. They was the real deal. A whole bunch of hood niggas just like us, coming from nothing. One thing you gotta know about a kid coming from poverty, nothing, not used to never having nothing, you're dealing with a dangerous person. A person that, I guess when you gambling, you ain't got nothing to lose. And I think, to me, that's one of the most dangerous people that you can deal with. So what we did when we was little, man, shout out to all the homies, man, all the guys that I played against when I was little, the Waukegan Bulldogs, man. I remember a whole bunch of them, man. Postel, Nick Browder. Nick Browder was the real deal. Nick Browder was a mastermind, a quarterback for the Waukegan Bulldogs, man. But there's a whole bunch of them that me and all my homies, we grew up in Zion playing against. But that was the game. It wasn't Zion Waukegan or Warren Gurney, all the mother Antioch. It wasn't none of them. It was Zion and Waukegan every year in the championship. Forget what you're talking about. So for the ones that grew up in that era with me, for the ones that know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Shout out to y'all. I hope a lot of those guys, man, I hope they're alive. If y'all alive and y'all hear this message that I'm giving, man, send me a shout out, man. What I'm gonna do is it's gonna be up. I want to hear how y'all doing in y'all lives, what y'all did with y'all's lives, where y'all going, what you did and didn't do. Regardless of what you did, man, this is a positive thing. So I ain't never gonna judge you. I ain't never gonna down you. I ain't never gonna point the finger and say, hey, I did more than you, you did more than me. Man, that ain't what we doing, man. Like, this is the perfect time to we got some downtime, we got some alone family time. This is the best thing in the world could happen to me and everybody. You get to spend your time with your family, man. At the end of the day, the way my mind made, the way it was put in my mind, and I hope y'all feel the same way, and I know a lot of cats I grew up with, we feel like this. It's God first, and then family and friends, in that order. God first, family and friends, and that's the way it goes. Because without God, you can't do nothing, man. And I'll get into that down the road. I was at a stage in my life when I got a little older. Again, everything I'm doing on this is gonna be the path. And at one point, man, I ain't have God in my life, and He showed me why I needed Him. But that's for another down the road. But again, shout out to all the guys that played for the Waukegan Bulldogs, man. Them boys was dogs. They was the real deal. And I tell you this right now, man. Waukegan and Zion, them two spots. And North Chicago has some dog niggas too. Don't get it twisted. But Waukegan and Zion, there were so many young buck cold niggas that played in our era that was better than any NFL niggas you know. We always talk about that in basketball, who was better than this. But I'm telling you now, Zion Benton had some official super dogs that was insane growing up as kids, man. And however happened. I ain't never gonna forget them. It's 30, 40 years later, and I remember it like yesterday. So that's why I'm talking about this, because I want y'all to come on out, talk with me, you know what I mean, and just bring out, I want people to hear how cold you was. Now, I'm gonna talk about you, but I want them to hear you tell about how you was that real deal, because now we all older, you know what I'm saying, we got kids, some of y'all got grandkids, because y'all was out there wilding out, you know what I mean, and I'm sure y'all talk about how good you was, all old school cats, you know, we that now. Back in the day, we used to laugh at the uncles and the old school niggas when they talking about, oh, I was the coldest basketball player, I was the baddest football player. They was, because now we in their shoes. You know what I mean? So now what I want to do with all I'm doing now, man, I want to bring up all the positive energy, all that we did, man, and let the world see what we did. Bring up you. I want to hear you talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real. And everything you did, it wasn't fake. It wasn't phony. It was the real deal. And so with me doing this, I've been thinking about this for years. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to start something. And I hope everybody piggyback off of it and come on in, man. Let's talk to the world. Let's talk to each other. We get to laugh. We get to crack up. You know, about a time when, remember when I popped the hell out of you? And remember when dude did that to you? Man, that's what this is all about, man. Because, like, again, it's family and it's love. So with this, like I said, I'm going to try to be, you know, as positive as possible. But there's going to be some things that's said. You know, when I first started talking at first about this little league career, it's talking about my father and talking about my brother and my older brother and, you know, those folks, man, it was hard at first, growing up. But now I'm good. I'm in a place now. It took a long time to get to where I'm at, and I'm never going to heal from that. You understand what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is this. It's something that need to be said. And to get it off your chest and talk to your friends and family and all those things, they know. You know, so to me, this is so extremely personal for the simple fact that I'm going to reach the people I want to reach. So if you get a glimpse of this and you hear it, it's a testimony. It's the way I grew up, Coco Blaylock, from the mud, from the little bitty one, all the way to where I finished. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go in segments, etc. But please come on out, man. The guys, and I'm gonna say some names. You know, if I miss some names, I apologize, man. It's been 30 years. Don't you know, hold me to it. But I got a good memory. I'm gonna shout out a lot of folks that meant a lot to me, and all y'all meant a lot to me. But there's some that was a little bit more special. You know, I know if you grown, you ain't gonna take that the wrong way, and I hope you feel the same way about me. So that's why I'm doing it. So I'm gonna continue on. Like I said, I was talking about my Auntie Dooley trickled down to my cousin Gwen, and what made my cousin Gwen so cool and unique at the time, back when we was kids, because she went to school with these niggas, you know, and they would always talk crazy. We used to just so y'all know, man, and all the Zion Benton niggas, y'all know, we used to smash Waukegan. It was cool. We was back and forth. But we got y'all more than y'all got us. And anybody say any different, we can bring up the facts. We can bring up the games. And if you got footage, Lord have mercy. If you got footage, anybody that played Zion Benton, anybody that played for Waukegan, man, let's bring that out. Let's put that on. You know, let's bring that out. You know, and down the road, once I go through my little league career, high school career, junior college career, pro football career, what I would like to do, with the permission of some of y'all, is call you, put you on I can talk to you and talk to you about it and ask you questions. You know what I'm saying? So that's down the road. So with that being said, Cousin Gwen was cold-blooded for the fact that she went to school with them cats and always let them know that my cousin, I'm gonna whoop y'all, and she would tell us what they say, and you know, it was all just fun and games, man. But like I said, shout out to them Waukegan Bulldog boys, man. They was real live dogs, man. Wasn't no weak nothing about them boys. They made us bring our A games at all times. And so with me, with that being said, man, that was cool in the fan. Like I said, shout out to the ones I remember, man. Nick Broder was one of the ones carried. He was a quarterback, did it all. Postel, Cron, all them boys. The Bulldogs was a real deal. So now I want to start talking about some of the guys. I want to talk about a game in general. For the ones that played in this game, you're going to remember this game like yesterday, because I ain't never going to forget it. It was probably one of my proudest moments. And I had a long 18-year pro football career, man, but this one of my proudest moments is this one game. Growing up in Wisconsin, in Illinois, borderline, if y'all don't know, Waukegan, Zion, and Kenosha, that's all right there, no, all my stomping grounds. And Waukegan to Kenosha, Waukegan, Zion, and Kenosha is the borderline of Wisconsin. I ran all them streets, right? I had a whole bunch of friends from all three of them places. There was a game that I played in. Never forget it. For the ones that played in this game, y'all remember it. And then I'm gonna give some shots out to the guys from around the way, who everybody know them. Some of the guys I grew up with, some of their families was superstar families. And I'm gonna go down the line and say them names. And if you from Zion, you from Waukegan, you're gonna be like, he ain't lying. He keeping it 100. He telling the absolute truth. So I want to talk about a game. The guys I grew up when I was little, man. Some of them guys I looked up to. You know, they probably didn't know it then, but I say it right now. I'm a grown ass man, and I don't mind saying it like it is. But back then we little, we ain't telling nobody we look up to them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't telling nobody they better than us. Even if they was better, faster, stronger, we ain't telling them that. The way we grew up, man, I'm better than you in your mind. And if you ain't had that mind, you wasn't a true athlete. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling nobody that they was better than me. I wouldn't tell my brother Mike, who I looked up to most, that he was better than me. You know, I wanted to beat him. I wanted to beat him. Now, to me, that was the mountain, to beat your older brother, who was the real deal. I was a competitor, man. Anybody know me? I wanted to win at everything. I was a sore loser. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I tried to hide it, but I hated to lose anything I did. Had a lot of fights because I lost. Now I got in fights sometimes because I beat them, but that's how we was. We were fighting and we'd be cool a minute later. But you know, with that being said, I want to talk about this one game. It was Zion Benton against Waukegan, the Bulldogs. You know, go figure. And it was a snow cold game. So the ones that played in this game, y'all finna bring you back to time, man. We played, it was in Waukegan or Gurnee, one or the other, can't remember. But it was a championship. I don't know if it was November, December, but in Wisconsin it always was cold as hell and it always snowed. But I never forget this game, man. It was a championship game. And we played against the Bulldogs, man, and it was cold. It had to have been about 15 degrees, snowing. And during the game, it rained. So that snowy game, we got to the field, I never forget it. It was snow on the ground. But guess what? The niggas I grew up was real hood niggas. The niggas I grew up, they ain't care about nothing because we ain't had nothing. So to make it to that